Hi, I'm Shrevia. I'm here with another one of our T1D role models, singer and songwriter Ava August. So nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you as well. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So just gonna jump right in. How has having diabetes impacted or rather inspired your career or passion for music?
That's such a great question. I would say having T1D has inspired me to make music and just create art in so many different ways. Being an artist, you're a storyteller, and it's really instilled in me just that kind of idea of never wanting to give up on whatever that dream is. And so I think it's really helped fuel me to want to, be an artist and just continue pursuing my love for music.
That's amazing. I have to say, I was listening to some of your songs on the way here and I absolutely loved them.
Thank you.
So I can really see the passion coming through.
Thank you so much.
Of course. I wanted to ask you as well. I heard that you were on American Idol. I wanted to see what was that pressure like with diabetes? And I know there's a lot of, cameras and lights and people around you. So what was that experience like?
Being on a show like American Idol is already just a very nerve-wracking experience. There's a lot of eyes on you every weekend. You're performing for millions of people. And then on top of that, having a condition like T1D, definitely was a challenge, but it made me even more disciplined. And honestly, having a routine was probably the most impactful thing I did on American Idol, especially dealing with my blood sugars and the adrenaline. And so, I would have a pre-show routine and a post-show routine. I would, have to adjust my insulin levels for the adrenaline, and then I would kind of go lower typically after the show. And so just being really on top of it and having my CGM ready, my phone with me at all times so I knew what my blood sugar was doing was definitely beneficial, but it required, a lot of planning and just being very disciplined.
So it seems like you have a lot of experience. Along those lines, what are some of the challenges you face as a diabetic pursuing so many things in music?
The people around you, aren't initially going to know that you are a type 1 diabetic because, this disease is oftentimes invisible. So really just letting everyone in your circle know, hey, I have this. And that was hard in the beginning because I've been in this, industry since I was a kid, and sometimes you feel kind of embarrassed or a little nervous to, let a crew member or someone on the show know, hey, I need to step out for a sec, or I can't do this interview right now, or anything like that. And so just really not being afraid to speak up. That's kind of what I've learned being, an artist in the industry.
I know you have an amazing voice. You're a singer. How have you used that to advocate for type 1 diabetes in your community?
One thing that comes to mind was when I was on American Idol, there was a performance, it was for the top 12 performance, and I sang Love of My Life by Queen, and I had my Omnipod, my insulin pump, on my arm, and there was this one moment in the song where I put my hands up, and they did this 360 pan on the show, and so basically, all of America was watching, and they saw the insulin pump on my arm, and it really, it sparked a huge kind of conversation on the internet and on social media, and what was on Ava August's arm. It was really honestly the most beautiful thing, seeing just the influx of comments and people on social media going, hey, my 5-year-old son was pointing to the TV because someone like him was on screen.
That's
wearing
beautiful.
an insulin pump. I think it's so important that all of us type 1 diabetics and families and anyone who's been affected by this disease are here at Capitol Hill, because it really does put a face to the cause. And so the special diabetes program is, so important. It's funded so many of the technological and research advances in this field. And I think it's just so important for Congress and for Capitol Hill to see, all of the people who are affected by this disease on a daily basis.
And I have one final question to you. If you could give a piece of advice to your younger self, what would it be?
I would tell myself that it's all going to work out in the end, and that it's not the end, and that it's just the beginning. Because I think, especially as the technology has advanced and as we've gained so much more information on how to manage T1D, it's, made our lives so much better and easier, and it's only getting better. And so I think, there were moments, and I'm sure you've had moments as well growing up with this, that, you felt kind of just defeated or burnt out, and just to give myself that reminder that this is not the end and it's going to get better and it's going to keep getting better, I think is what I would tell myself.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much.
All right. Good job.